Hi, happy Monday. Hope everybody's feeling alright. I felt the need to chat, and last night I had a dream that I lost my voice, so um, I'm just proving I haven't. And I guess subconsciously I felt maybe a little bit like that. I always get a bit choked up around the old throat, and I think, have a chat. And I have such a strange little mind, the way my mind works, and I'm very conscious of it, and I chat about it often, if not on here, in real life, just about, I guess, some of the hurdles that my mind puts on myself, some of the barriers and the fears. And yeah, I'm such a doubting Thomas. I'm so bored of it. And so I've just told Mark, when he catches me doing it, to just shout out, doubting Thomas, and that's been like snapping me out of it a little bit. So but anyway, I've got a laptop now, and so I must now learn how to edit, because I'm just not helping myself. I want to make different types of videos, and I want to know the skills so I can, it's like getting all the paint on the palette, isn't it? So I want to be able to do better content, basically. So I'm not sure whether I'll use this as a little start, or if I'll take my time doing it or whatever. But yeah, um, so I just want to talk. And yeah, so I was noticing how my funny little old mind works sometimes, and it's really funny, and it's all about information. It's like I'm very cautious about what I say. Sometimes, not about myself. I'll be completely self-deprecating and honest about myself and transparent or whatever, but there are certain things that I find that I'm still censoring myself from talking about, for numerous different reasons. And so I've had to have a little word with myself. And the pep talk this morning ended up, it was like, fuck it, stop caring. So it's so boring. It's so boring. It does my head in. Just loops of self doubt, and then it's like mini little breakthroughs where I'm like, oh yeah, like I feel like a spiritual warrior, for a few days. And it's funny because whenever I'm tested or rocked, if something's not going the way I want it to go, and I'm struggling internally or externally, all it's ever about is that action or reaction to the stimuli, the projection from external, or the disease from internal, and we can control that. We can control that with thoughts, with our consciousness. And you start to, I just find it so strange, it's so weird how to know how to speak about what I'm trying to speak about. What am I trying to speak about? I don't know, it's like, and I don't want to label it, I don't want to put anything into a category. I'm absolutely sick of fucking labels. But I just feel like, it's like it's sovereignty over your consciousness that this sort of this awakening is all about. It's about freeing ourselves from our own bondage, and we get shown things, and we get intermingled and intertwined with all this other sludge elsewhere, but we really do have the control to change it all. And yeah, it was so profound for me when I had this really full-on type of forced Kundalini awakening. It was so incredible that it was, I was perceiving in completely different ways, and it affected my whole reality, everything. And so that was, good, bad, and everything in between, until I managed to balance a little bit. But it's like, after that initiation, it's like then therein starts the journey. It's not like, I don't know, all this truth-seeking stuff and truth of this, and I don't know. It's like, of course I want the truth. I guess that's it. Everybody just wants. We just want people to just drop the bullshit, drop the masks. And how ironic that sentence is. In this day and age. But anyway, the initiation, and then the journey begins, and it's like you can't go back to the way ones where you just can't, because you've learnt the lessons, you know, and you've either reaped the rewards of changing your ways, or you've continued to suffer as a result of not changing your ways and holding on to, you know, densities and darkness and lower vibrations. So yeah, it really is a personal journey, yet we're all in this, you know, collective co-creative dream, you know, and it's super exciting and interesting. And so yeah, I mean, so many things I want to talk about, but again, like, none of it makes sense. Does it even matter? I don't know. But basically, things have been getting on my nerves a bit again, and it's like always the lessons for me again. It's the way I'm reacting and responding to it, and so I think that's why I've had to sit back a little bit and you know, just concentrate on my personal aura, my vibration, and what's going on around me, rather than, you know, be watching all this stuff that's bound to trigger me. And, you know, again, I'm still in this sort of paradox of, yeah, that's right, it's all here to trick you and to distract you. You know, the world is just a whole heap of distractions. It's all here to take us away from the internal, you know. But anyway, so, you know, it's like we're climbing back up the ladder through the lessons, dissolving the ego into pure consciousness, and then we get to start steering the car. It's funny, I had this dream a while ago, and I think I actually recorded it as one of my videos. I don't usually do that, because for whatever reason, but this one I felt like doing, and it was so strange, this dream. And it was just up the road there from where I am, and in my dream I'm in the car, I'm going down the hill, and there's speed bumps on the road here, and so I'm in the dream, and I'm you know, I'm sort of semi-lucid in the dream. I'm always like lucid, so it's like I know it's not real life, but it's feeling like real life, but I've not got that full control over the consciousness yet in the dream. So I'm like semi-observer, semi-player, and I feel like that is kind of like, you know, what happens to us humans, you know, throughout our evolution, our soul's evolution or our soul's devolution, you know, up or down Jacob's ladder. And so it's really interesting. But anyway, this dream, so I'm driving down the speed bumps, and I'm getting closer and closer to the car in front of me. I'm going too fast, and I'm noticing that shit, I can't move my feet on the pedals, and, you know, my hands are stuck on the wheel, nothing's working. It's like I'm just like, I am I'm the observer, not the player, you know, not the contributor, definitely not the controller of my dream at that point. And just as I was about to smack into it, I was like, come on, dickhead, you know, to myself in the dream, you know, you can sort this out, don't crash into the car. Because I think I was, you know, maybe I was in the dream, obviously, maybe I was scared of getting done for something. Like, I'm always a bit, you know, I've got loads of points on my licence, and I just seem to attract trouble sometimes. But anyway, so I'm like, come on, dickhead, stop this. So I take control, and what happens in my dream, in the scape scene, you know, whatever, is that everything that I can see, which is what I've been normally seeing, you know, it's like through a car window coming down a road, the sky and everything, from the top right of my periphery, the vision, you know, to the bottom left, it peeled back. And as this was happening, I'm saying to myself, this is the veil peeling back. What is going to be behind the veil? And I couldn't wait. And I was like, this is fucking incredible. It peeled like a piece of old parchment, you know, like an old treasure map. And it just went like that. And behind was exactly the same fucking scene. It's just I had control over the car, and I could put the brake on and stop myself from ramming into this car in front. And I found it so profound that I woke myself up. I went to find my phone to, you know, record a little message and put it on YouTube. But it was just so profound, like, you know, the choice to take control of your consciousness, to be sovereign. It's a choice, you know, it's difficult sometimes, and to keep it there is difficult, you know, to maintain it there. but it really is a choice. Or, you know, the choice to be asleep or autonomous is also, you know, it's a choice as well. So yeah, it's just really interesting. But so there's so many different sort of timelines going on, isn't there, at the minute? And as I'm leaning more into astrology and things, I'm hearing and resonating and feeling, you know, that these eclipses that we're having a lot of, and all the crazy astrology this year, all the planets that are in retrograde at the minute, and you know, it's all heavy, heavy, heavy. But because of the you know, this complete takeover, hijacking, you know, by the media and the governments and just the whole craziness of what's going on at the moment, I've just really felt like I've had to sit back, you know, and instead of speaking up. And I did a video a few months ago called To Speak or Not to Speak, and it's just the same feels that I'm in, and, you know, waking up with this, I'm like, just speak. So yeah, I've been fine, but I feel like sort of a continuation of how I've felt since the beginning of this, almost like you're watching it unfold, so you know what's going to come, and you can dare to speak about it, you know, sometimes in little bits, but you don't want to put too much weight or attention to it, because then you know that it's going to manifest, and you kind of feel like that's what's going to happen anyway. So all you can do is like focus on yourself and raising your vibrations and thinking of better outcomes and different timelines, you know. But then all you're bombarded with is the same shit, you know, like doomsday from every other angle. So it's a really tricky time at the moment. But anyway, I feel like it's super important that we're honing our electromagnetic field, you know, our heart. We're keeping the heart open, and we're not reacting, you know. We're trying to stay in that 0 point, in that peace, in that non-reactive neutral state, sort of as the observer rather than the reactor. And it's really interesting. Urgh, for God's sake. But what's been annoying me is that for some reason, since like lockdown's been eased, I just can't bear all this, by the way. And because I've got a laptop now, I want to get some clips to help show the ludicrousy just through my perspective, you know, from the little bits of bullshit that I've seen, or the little bits of mainstream news fucking propaganda over here, or, you know, how the UK politicians or certain faces and what they're saying and how they're saying it, and oh, it's so horribly insidious and cowardly and disgusting, you know. But I'm just always like thinking to myself, just ignore the distractions and rise above it. But it's not, you know, it's somewhere in between. So I'm wanting to say things, but I'm not quite knowing how. And I find myself that, like I said, like since this lockdown's eased up a bit, and there's more people out and about, but there's now more of these stupid rules to make us feel safe. And lots more people wearing masks, and I just can't deal with it, especially when I see kids wearing it, because I don't need to see experiments where people have got oxygen meters up in the mask to show me that oxygen levels will drop when you're wearing a mask. That's just fucking common sense, and that's what, you know, certain people have been able to feel and see from the start. Of course it is. So anyway, I just find it's really difficult now. It's like I'll be standing in a supermarket queue and I'll see a woman, you know, a mother, and she has a mask on, and so does a kid. And it's not mandatory over here. I think it is for public transport, which I won't be using, you know. I'd rather fucking crawl than put a mask on. Oh my God. And I think that, you know, the compliance through the silence, you know, is what's so disturbing to watch, and almost, you know, what hurts the soul, and 1444. But at the same time, I see and I know why people are doing it, because either they're scared, well, you know, it's fear is the predominant thing, but there's so many different angles of how they've spun it so that people feel like they need to wear or they should be wearing these masks. There's a genuine threat and all this. And I just can't deal with it anymore. It's like it's been months and months and months, and there's no word of even a slightly different narrative on anything at all mainstream. Yet the internet is full of it, and I don't know what I can do about it personally. I'm still trying to find, it's like I was in this queue yesterday or the other day at the supermarket, and I'm like, I want to say something, usually, and I try not to be a dickhead, but sometimes I look at people and it's just a bit like, oh, fucking hell, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I want to say, are you scared? Are you scared for yourself? Do you think you're so unhealthy that you're going to get this fucking virus that affects like a pinch of fucking salt out of the whole population? And, you're going to get it. Are you scared for you, or are you scared that you're going to give it to someone else? Or do you just enjoy covering your face up and being a fucking insignificant piece of the background wallflower? What is it? What message are you sending to your kids? Why are you both sat there in fucking hot weather in a ridiculous fucking queue at Aldi, also stood 8 foot back when now it's 1 foot plus or something, ridiculousness. And I'm just constantly, I'm looking around in the queues to find someone else normal, and occasionally, and you see them straight away, normal people who are looking around like I am, waiting for someone else to clock eyes with and smile at the fucking stupidity of it all. So yeah, but I find myself thinking, what can I say, without being a wanker, because I genuinely want to know. I want to say, and I've been thinking about saying things like, are you vulnerable? Are you in the vulnerable category? Do you have really compromised immune systems? Are you, what's your reason for wearing the mask? And I mean, people love it. And what's bothering me, it's the young people. And I thought I were young, but it's like people that are like between the ages, from what I can see, it's about them, of like between like, I don't know, maybe 18 and 25, and they're all out in the Vans trainers with the fucking designer masks on. I can't deal with it. Oosh. So anyway, yeah, and I've been listening to a lot of people who are speaking up and speaking out, and what I've found that I've come to the conclusion of, and that I think my laptop will help me with, this is clearly just a ramble that I'm probably not even going to edit a little bit at all, but I've been listening to other people who are saying things really impactfully, and I've been trying to think, what is it that they're doing that I'm not doing? Because obviously I just use this as therapy and ramble, but I feel I need to up it a notch, and try and get a message out. I don't know, for my own sense, for my own, it's like I've always said, a nice thing about doing these videos is that when the time comes when I pass on, my kids will be able to look back and see such intimate thoughts and know me so much better, not as a mum, but just like as me, so it's cool. So it feels like almost like you're leaving your own little legacy through your channel. Do you know what I mean? Or your own time capsule in a way. It's like I feel like I'm having to I feel like I'm being told, to step forward and try and make a difference. So I want to make some impactful videos. So I've been watching, Vernon Coleman, the old guy in a chair from England. He's a doctor and an author, and he's marvellous. And his videos are so impactful for a few reasons. Obviously, he's so smart, the accent helps, and the sarcasm and everything. But I think it's because he's old school and he's taken the time to write his thoughts down in a transcript. I've not done that since, I don't know, school or something. I just write notes or paragraphs or poems. I don't give myself the opportunity, to follow through with shit. But that's what's changed recently since I've started, forward momentum. So I'm like, well, that's why it's so impactful, because they've actually prepared. And so I'm going to write a few thoughts down, and then I'm going to speak it into the camera, and I think that might help me a lot. It might help me stop hating myself as much for chatting shit and swearing and not saying what I want to do, not getting my point out as well as I can and all that jazz. So anyway, exciting shit. And yeah, so this new laptop is going to allow me to screen share as well, which is going to be, whoa, motherfucker, there's a lot of orbs going around, isn't there? Or whatever they are. Yeah, and it's going to allow me to screen share. I'm going to set up some like Zoom interviews so I can do some chats with, you know, a couple of friends, and yeah, just change things up for myself because I've bored myself, and it's like, as long as I can carry on rambling shit for therapy, now I've got a laptop, I feel like, oh, you know, like the world's my oyster. I don't really know where to start, but, you know, starting somewhere's always better than not, isn't it? So yeah, because so many things have been annoying me, and Dr. Hilary, if anyone's English, and Lorraine are on the top of my fucking hit list at the moment, and I haven't watched that shit for years, but since this shit has gone on, they've been, you know, recommended on like the home screen of my YouTube thing, and I've been dipping in a little bit just to see, I guess, the complete opposite opinion. And oh, Lorraine, I've always hated her, but she's just so fucking fake, and she's just so nervous. I'm so nervous. It's like, fuck off. What are you nervous about? What is everybody nervous about? You've more chance of dying. This is children, apparently, the official stats, but again, stats is just bullshit. Computer simulations, programs. We've got fucking autonomous, unempathetic, half-dead, soulless people in charge of the way society is ran. And if it's not them in charge, it's literally computers and computer simulations and programs. It's like, enough is enough, innit? It's like, Jesus Christ, something has to be done. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, she's so nervous, and Dr. Hillary's there enforcing that. They're just pumping the fear out, and he's like, well, yeah, being nervous is what's going to keep you safe. And it's like, oh, you disgusting, cowardly cunt. Whoops, maybe I should edit that out. But anyway, and yeah, you can't, oh, anyway, I'll have to clip some videos together because I need to do things in a different way to get my thoughts out. But whoosh, now I feel a little bit better. And I've got something exciting coming up. I'm having a little trip out away from the kids, and that is going to be lovely. It's been like 7 years in the making, and I feel like a kid at Christmas, so I've got lots to look forward to. And again, thanks for being here. And isn't it wild, the world? And we're all here together, and it's completely crazy. Oh gosh, don't comply. Social shaming and stigma used as weapons. I've said that so often in my videos. It was from something Brett Weinstein said he was talking about game theory months and months ago, and again with all this Black Lives Matter and all this race wars and every kind of divide and conquer you can imagine that's been thrown into the mix. You know, it's like, we need some sense, don't we? We need some sense. It's absolute lunacy. We have completely stepped into God knows, but it's, you know, it's not to be feared. I don't think it's to be feared. You know, we are here together. Let's look after our consciousness. Let's hone our auras, our electromagnetic fields. Get on your fucking armour of God. You know, you are a spiritual warrior. We are spiritual warriors. That's why we're transparent and vulnerable and open and honest, and we try to keep integrity, and we keep fighting, you know, and we fight with spirit, you know. We don't fight with hate and division and low consciousness misunderstandings, you know. We fight with love and acceptance and surrender and neutrality and integrity, you know, and always doing what's right. And I just got this sort of feeling over the last few days, and it's not been permanent, it's come in waves, don't get me wrong, but it's just been like this sort of rise up inside, you know, like And I'm so fierce, you know, like if push came to shove, like I would like to think that whoever tried to kill me would die. Like that's how much, you know, fire I feel inside me. Like you try and kill me and you will die. You will die. But you know, I would never sort of put that onto another. It's a defense mechanism. Return to sender. But I feel like that, yeah, it's like I would die to do the right thing. I would. I've always known that about myself. And, you know, I guess, no, I wouldn't be one of those idiots anymore, you know, who completely martyred themselves. But I will stand up until the day I die and say what I feel is right and try and bring light to the things that are really damaging, like everything that's going on at the moment. So I guess I need to, you know, invigorate my thoughts, get my little fucking keyboard out and crack on. But I've got all the time in the world, I guess, haven't I? And the only barriers I'm putting on are my own. So yeah, good golly. So Vernon Coleman, if you've not checked him out, he's brilliant. I'll yeah, and also there's a guy called Carl Vernon who I'm enjoying his videos as well at the moment. Yeah, actually, while I'm here, because I don't know when the next time I'll do a video is, now I feel better. You know, I don't know if you followed me for a while, you might know I've retained it or not, because I do talk so much shit, but from the start of my awakening, I've had this thing about blood and DNA upgrades and blah, 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 and all this crap, and about the rhesus negative blood and that being important. And I was sort of conspiring at the start of this about, you know, rhesus negatives having a different internal system with different waste removal system, because rhesus negative people, especially O negative people, are free from add-ons and antigens. Some people ponder or theorize that, you know, these are like nanoparticles or, you know, nanobots or even, you know, but anyway, who knows. But because they're free from those, we definitely have a different system, and it annoys me that this is not taken into consideration in the medical profession. So I was just keeping my eye a little bit further out, you know, to do with all this shit, because sorry, one of the kids is trying to get in here. Yeah, because, you know, it was just always at the front of my mind, and plasma, and so rhesus negatives potentially being resistant or immune to certain viruses in the past, you know, and so I was interested to see how the studies, if there were any studies, and blah, 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 blah. And so the only things that I've seen officially so far is that apparently people with O blood, didn't specify rhesus negative or not, just O blood are less likely to get this virus, whether it is, you know, whatever it is that they're testing for. Because, you know, it's like the tests, again, it's like this whole thing has been flawed from the start. So, there's no point me chatting here, is there? I really need to stop chatting now and start writing my thoughts down. Yeah. I think you could do like an hour-long video on hypocrisies that started at the start, and I can't believe it's still being pushed. So, right, whoosh, a lot of energy going around. I can hear the dogs going wild in there, which means that the kids are running around and happy. We've brought a trampoline inside. Yeah, I'm quite annoyed about what kids are going through at the moment, and I need to speak about that as well. And I'm sort of shocked and annoyed sometimes that some mothers don't see the most important aspect of parenting, or one of, it feels like the most to me, is to psychologically nurture and not psychologically damage your child, you know. So all this mask wearing, social distancing, business at school, the school's been closed, the park's still being closed, it's so horrendously vile. My kids are lucky, you know, that They've got a couple of legends looking after him, and that, you know, we're on a journey of self-betterment, so we are very conscious of our own downfalls and, you know, conscious parenting, I guess. But we're still on a fucking journey, you know. But I'm annoyed about what's happening, and it annoys me sometimes that it's like mums are like, is it safe for us to send our kids back? It's like, of course it's safe, you know. It's not safe psychologically, it's safe physically. It would be safe to fucking carry on as normal. Like, that's what should have happened from the start. You absolute bellends. But 30-30 I saw then. Number synchronicities are crazy. I know I say that as like a statement, I always say, but mine are just always the same. 144 follows me around all the time. 9/11 I've seen a lot at the moment, and I watched my favourite, one of my favourite childhood programmes, which was Problem Child, the other day, and that was definitely in the 90s or something. And I noticed that the house number was 9/11, and you know, you just see a lot of things, don't you? But apart from the 144 that dogs me, it's and you know, 333, 444, 222, 555, 777, all that jazz. It's the repeating ones, like 30-30 that I saw then, or whatever it was. Every time I look at the clock, it's 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 16, yeah, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. It's the repetitive ones. And so, yeah. It's a fucking wild time, but yeah, let's armour up and, you know, just, yeah, let's feel strong and safe and excited for this juiciness, you know. The world is crumbling around us, and it had to happen, and so we conscious ones are the ones who get to rebuild it and remold it, and not just get to, but who have to, you know. So it's like, the quicker that we get the right messages, the right feels out there, and we stop sort of perpetuating cycles by blame, attack, and, you know, sort of, yeah, then we can sort of create better timelines and step into them. So, exciting shit. Hope everybody's well. Lots and lots of love, and hopefully I'll do a better video soon. Goodbye.